Good morning, my little Tattle Tells. Yo, let's just jump into this. Remember those rumors about ASAP Rocky and Rihanna and him cheating on her? A lot of y'all were inboxing me like, what's the tea? What's the tea? I reached out to sources and I kept my mouth shut because everybody was like, where did this come from? That's random. And yo, they are solid. Now, one thing we know for certain, ASAP will be a fool to cheat on Rihanna. She got booty, she got beauty, she got billions. I mean, come on. And she seemed like she got a really good personality. Now, I don't know what goes on people's relationships, but that's why I kept mum, because I was like, this is going to blow up and whoever's face reports it. Because all sides were like, ain't no truth. And it literally started off of a Twitter. Now, don't get me wrong, lots of stuff is unearthed on Twitter. But this guy was like, what's your connection? How do you know them? Do you have any receipts? It was nothing, right? Well, it looks like those cease and desistings were cease and desistings. That billionaire lawyer and her boyfriend, they're God and everybody, because baby, when I say people are backtracking, doing the moonwalk, doing what they can, doing the snake backwards to get out of those accusations that they put out there, baby, there was a public apology that sounded like the lawyers had something to his head, like, read it, comrade, right? There was literally the shoe designer came out and said, what? How did I get into this? And on top of that, Rihanna and ASAP are spotted loved up and happy in Barbados. We got the pictures on that. And listen, let's get into this mess. Before we do, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Baby, it's YouTube. You know how this works. Let's get into this. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about this story about ASAP Rocky appearing distracted. Okay, before we get to that, let's talk about how Page 6 tried it. Listen to this. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky are still going strong, but sources told us the rapper wasn't fully himself after false cheating and breakup rumors hit Twitter on Thursday. Rocky attended a launch party for his new Mercer plus Prince whiskey in Times Square nightclub Nebula. What the hell was he doing at Nebula? That must have been a favor to the owner. Nebula, a Times Square nightclub? Who in New York City goes to Times Square nightclubs? That's what you do when you don't know the city. You're just like, well, I guess Times Square is where all the people go. And that must have been a favor. But anyway, and sources described him as very distracted and unfocused during a fireside chat about the liquor. But listen to how he was distracted and unfocused, because I see what you're doing, Page 6. Ready? He struggled to string sentences together, but showed up to endorse and support his new baby whiskey liquor. If he struggled to string sentences together, I don't think he was distracted. I think he was maybe drunk. Maybe he was actually partying at one of the real nightclubs. Maybe he was actually partying at one of the real nightclubs, and then he went to Times Square just to do a favor to his friend and to promote that launch for that whiskey Nebula. Listen, he struggled to string sentences together. That sounds like he was drunk, not distracted, baby. Come on. But I see what you're trying to do, Page 6, and it still ain't gonna work. Rocky arrived 3 hours late for the special occasion. They only paid him probably for 20 minutes. I mean, they're already having it at Club Nebula in Times Square. No shade to Nebula, but come on. You couldn't have it somewhere in Soho? You can, listen, everybody from New York knows what I'm talking about. They tried it. And then he went straight to the private VIP room to sign his custom-made and designed bottles for guests. Is there anything else special guests do? I didn't know people mingled among the common people, right? Another source told us he seemed off. Did he? But he pushed through straight to the VIP. So what you talking about? So basically, another source from the common area as he pushed through VIP. He seemed off. Y'all gonna stop saying this stuff about any receipts. Listen, he's usually a smooth talker. He's usually very charming and funny. Yeah, the people in VIP, not you, commoner. Out my way, peasant. Security. Anyway, let's get into also, but anyway, I see what Page 6 is trying to do. They're trying to stretch this out because, listen, this story broke the internet, but it seems like there's no truth to it, or at the very least, all sides are like, listen, let's get into how the lawyers went to work and everybody. Let's talk about this public apology that one dude did with a gun to his head and sound like, let's go. All right, but before we do, here's these exclusive pictures I was telling y'all about. This is Rihanna looking lovely in those heels. She said you ain't gonna see her in any maternity outfit. And who is right there in pink in that scarf? Pretty boy Floyd. Pretty boy Flacco is literally right there with her. Now, people think that she might actually be even giving birth in her home country because she's Bajan. Rocky's father is Bajan. And why not have a Bajan baby? I'm saying it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Anyway, let's get to how Rihanna's lawyers got their foot on everybody's neck in this situation. All right, so he started this BS off with, "Hi, y'all. So I'd like to address the situation. Last night I made a dumb decision to tweet some information I had received." Already, I'm like, ooh, that muzzle, right, of the guy is pressed in his back. He said, "I'm not going to talk about sources, blame others for a discussion that was started, etc. Because at the end of the day, I made the decision to draft a tweet, press send, and put that out with my name on it." All right, now let's stop. Because, baby, you know, if he had sources that would back up what he said, he would be like, boom. But you know those sources probably just like dipped into the, what do you call it? Dipped into the bush. You know that meme of Homer Simpson moving back into a bush, disappearing? That's what his sources did. So I'd like to formally apologize to all parties I involved with my actions and for my reckless tweets. Okay, I said, oop, lawsuit. He said, "I fully accept the consequences of my actions for my tweets and any harm they cause. I have no excuse for it. I've been way too wrapped up in Twitter drama and unfortunately leaned into being messy as a brand, which is something going forward I'm going to move away from." Rihanna's lawyers literally got him like, "I'm going to reevaluate my place in life, what my purpose is as a human, and how I can better help the humanity moving forward in the next decade." Girl, but get this, he also might be going into witness protection because he literally said, "I'm going to take some time away from Twitter to figure out what that looks like and how I can start using my platforms better as I've gotten away from using them for more positive work." Yo, he is literally writing this with a hood over, a black bag over his head and something hard pressed against his head. They are not playing to get with him. He said, "Again, I apologize to them for this unnecessary drama." Yo, those cease and desistants are cease and desistants. But guess what? It's not over because the girl that was allegedly Rocky's side piece also put out a comment. Okay, she goes into saying, "I've always believed that an unfounded lie spread on social media doesn't serve any response or clarification, especially one that is so vile. I initially assumed that this fake gossip fabricated with such malicious intent would not be taken seriously. However, in the last 24 hours, I've been reminded that we live in a society that's so quick to speak on topics regardless of factual basis and that nothing is off limits." Okay, listen, I understand why she's so angry. She was involved in a vicious rumor that involved her close friend and business associate. You don't want to mess up with Fenty. While she was highly pregnant, and it threw dirt on her name. So I understand why she's so upset. But girl, are you really going to give us a State of the Union? Just say this is false, they're liars, and stop coming at me with that dumb ish. The F, that's all she has to say. But you know, different strokes for different strokes. Let's continue her State of the Union, right? She said, "Not even during what should be one of the most beautiful and celebrated times of one life. Therefore, I have to speak up, as this is not only directed towards me, but is related to people I have a great amount of respect or affection for." I feel like she's a meme poster on her Instagram. I think that oof, goodness. I mean, I know one long-winded person, we recognize the other, but she's, girl, let's move on. She said, "While Rhea's continuing to live her serene, best-dressed pregnancy life and I go back to my business, I wish everyone a beautiful Easter weekend." Whew. Thank you for giving us our Easter wish that you would just, thank you, this denial's finally over. But y'all, woo, the girls are fighting. And by the girls, I mean anybody. I mean Rihanna's lawyers are going to war with anybody that comes with some dumb stuff. Y'all been warned. Woo, I'm glad I kept my mouth shut and listened to my sources when they said this was no bueno and there wasn't truth to it. Thank y'all for always looking out for your girl, making sure I don't put my foot in my mouth. Woo, you are appreciated. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells, what do you think about this news? I'm breathing a sigh of relief because I was ready to drag ASAP Rocky. No offense to him, but you can't be messing with my heart named Riri like that. Y'all think I'm joking. Literally, it's one of those things about like Rihanna, if whoever you with, if you like them, I love them, but if you don't, it's war. But I'm glad to see that he's doing right by her. They're literally about to have this beautiful life. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. And listen, do y'all still think there's some truth to the rumors? Or this is to put everything to bed? Let me know in the comments. You know the rules. I read every comment. I love hearing what you guys got to say. Just be respectful, because you know I stay with my finger on that block button, and I'm not afraid to use it. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.